excuse the fact this is just on my phone and bad quality, and please excuse my appearance. I look horrible, so yeah. I have been saying that I'm going to make this video for such a long time. I probably won't even upload this, but please be prepared, this might go on forever. Hopefully my phone doesn't die. I really wanted to make this on my camera, but I don't know if it's something wrong with the battery or the charger. It seemed to be charging for over a day, and I turned it on and it said it's low on battery and then it turned right off, so I don't know what's going on there, but please excuse that. Yeah, I'm going to have to try and fix out the problem. I do have a spare battery, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, this video is going to be long enough on its own, so I better get into it. So, I know I've been saying in many of my videos, I'll make a video explaining my health, I'll make a video explaining my health, blah 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 blah. And it's not that I want your sympathy or anything like that. It's just something that I sort of refer to quite a lot. And in all my videos I'm like, oh, I'm feeling sick. You know, you're probably thinking, is she just sick all the time? Like, what's going on there? And I just think it's something that is a big part of my life, and you know, if you want to get to know me, it's something that you really need to know about, I guess, and hopefully this video might be able to help some people who might be going through the same sort of thing, and let you know that you're not the only one out there. So basically, I'm not going to make this go on forever, but I'll just do the quick backstory. So, I am 17 at the moment. I live in Australia, so I guess that's kind of not really a main point, but anyway, I live in Australia. All my family has been very healthy, and, you know, there's not really that much, you know, history of anything like this in the family. So, when I was, you know, about 2 years old, I started getting really extreme pain in my feet at night time, and I would just be screaming. My parents didn't know what it was. I would just, literally, all I can remember is it was just the worst pain I'd ever felt. I would just scream and scream and scream, and you know, they took me to doctors and the podiatrist, and no one really knew what it was, and because I was so young, I couldn't explain how it felt. I just knew it hurt. They'd be like, does it ache? Does it, you know, is it like sore, whatever? And I'd just be like, I don't know what the difference between those are. Like, I was just a little toddler, so no one really knew. So that started when I was really young, and pretty much I've had that pain from then till now, and it's just been more frequent and more intense, and it's not only in my feet now, it's also in my entire legs and my arms, and from being to a like once every few months sort of thing, it's once every few days sort of thing. Sometimes it's daily. So that's that. That's just kind of a little backstory. I don't know. There's so much things with my health and all of that. So anyway, when I was around, I'm not sure around when it started, either anywhere from the time I was really young to like a toddler to probably around when I'm around 7 is when I started definitely noticing that I got frequent headaches. Around when I was 8, which was when I was in grade 3, they were, you know, weekly, if not more than once a week sort of thing, and we didn't really go to many doctors for that. I was always really, really active and in so many sports. I used to do swimming, ballet, jazz, gymnastics, diving, tennis. Have I skipped any? I don't know. I just did all these sports at once. Like, I would have like multiple different sports a day. So I'd like I go from gymnastics, I go from ballet to gymnastics, and gymnastics to swimming, and ballet to diving, and all of this stuff. I was flat out constantly doing sports. But then I started getting really sick, and my headaches were more often, and I would just be nauseous, throwing up, tummy problems, things like that. I would just be constantly too sick to go to these sports. And then my parents started taking me to the doctors, being like, well, she's constantly getting sick, she constantly feels sick, what do you think's going on? And they basically all just said, we don't really know, pretty much they said we'd have no idea. We went to so many doctors. So over the years from between grade 4 when I was 9 till about when I was like 13, we basically just went to GPs and things, and then we went to a new doctor who actually tried more tests and things like that, blood tests, things like that. We like felt like we're getting somewhere now. He decided he said, why don't you try eliminating amines from your diet. If you don't know what that is, it's just a chemical in some foods. And then later on he's like, okay, why don't you try the entire fail-safe diet, still with all the tests, all the diet changes and things. We weren't really noticing a difference, and they didn't have any results. This doctor wanted me to try laser acupuncture, which I did. Basically, he just tried to try a few different things. Like, he checked all my levels, and I was on different vitamins, and we went to so many different people. And also, one of my main other symptoms is dizziness and blurry vision, like vision spots and things like that, sensitivity to sound and light and smell and all of that. There's too many symptoms for me to tell you all, but it's just things like that. And then then I went to try all sorts of people. We went to a herbalist, or is that what it's called? And she did like I forget what it's called, like the eye thing where they look at your iris. And she got me on a herb remedy thing. I went to multiple physios. I had, a lot of muscle things, just because I did so much sport, and gymnastics really ruins your body, basically. Very good for you, but your muscles really don't like it. So the physio was also looking at my headache. So then by the time I was in high school, I was still missing more school, and obviously high school's a lot more important when you miss more school, and my health had just been getting progressively worse this whole time. Sorry, you can hear lots of kids. My sister has 3 friends over, so they're all running around. Then I was, let me just check. Just checking it's still recording. So then by the time I was getting into high school, somewhere around between year 7 and 8, I was referred to a paediatrician, and I started going, that was around when I started going to the paediatrician, and he was really good. He ordered lots of tests and multiple things. By the time I was in year 9, he asked me to, or he referred me to, well, they actually had a neurologist come in to the practice once a month or something like that, and so the neurologist saw me there, and everything was fine. I had an MRI done and everything was normal, although I had sinus issues. Then he referred me to the neurologist, recommended me to go to a pain clinic at the Children's Hospital, which was where I would see a whole team of different pain specialists to, you know, try and help me manage with pain, and also kind of work out if there was anything that they thought that might be wrong, which I didn't really like going there, because at first I thought it was really good. I thought you know, they were actually still trying to find out what was wrong with me, but they were actually just, you know, not really doing anything, and they just, you know, tried to teach me pain management strategies, but at that point I was pretty much managing my pain as well as anyone could, and I didn't like missing school and going there to this pain clinic, because I just have to spend all day there going to the different people, and they just were not, it wasn't the right thing for me to go there. So yeah, I've just been seeing lots of different doctors and things, but you know, they all didn't know what was wrong with me. They're all like, yeah, we have absolutely no idea. And yeah, from year 9 up until this year, I was still going to the same paediatrician, just trying, not really anything new. That through the whole time, different GPs and the paediatrician had me on about, you know, 7 different things I tried out through the years, 7 different, you know, types of drugs. A lot of them had really nasty side effects, and I just felt even worse than I did without them. You know, really, it was not nice. You know, some of them, if I forgot to take it, I would just feel so sick if I just forgot to take one tablet. You know, it was not nice, and I was just like, oh, I really don't want to be on any medication for this, because these are all really not good at all. So then, around the start of this year, I don't know if you know, but in Australia, year 12 is the last year of high school, so obviously my parents wanted me to really go to school, really, and obviously I wanted to as well, and not miss so much school, hopefully, like I had been in the previous years. And also, just a quick note, in from basically year 9 onwards, I'd been like building up a lot of depression, which was also, you know, had a lot of anxiety as well. I'd always had some sort of anxiety, but, you know, after just, you know, people with chronic pain often develop depression, you know, whether it's as a result of the pain, or maybe it's, you know, missing out on things, or maybe it's actually the cause, like whatever the cause is actually, you know, giving you depression. So yeah, I just had been having a lot of depression and things like that, so things weren't that great. Obviously I, you know, had a lot of really good people supporting me and all of that, but yeah, that's just a little side note. So yeah, at the start of the year, my mum really wanted to get things right for the year, and so I started seeing a new, at the very start of the year, I went to the same paediatrician I've always been going to, and he recommended that I could see another one of the paediatricians they had at their practice, and that we could start up an appointment with the both of them, and then one with just this new one. So hang on, I'm just going to prop up a pillow. Quite uncomfortable here. So I had an appointment with the both. So I had an appointment with the both of them, and I just wanted to start afresh with the doctor that didn't already think, okay, we've tried everything, we've heard your story, we still don't know, basically. I wanted someone I could tell the whole story again, and they could just, maybe find something that other doctors have missed, or something like that. So I wanted to try that with another paediatrician. However, because they were working together, she pretty much ignored everything I was telling her. I just thought, yeah, okay, you still don't know, have no idea. So she did recommend that I went to a psychologist to kind of help with my depression and things like that, and at least, even if I still have the pain, at least, I'll be able to manage depression and things like that. She referred me, or she recommended a couple of different ones that I could see, and she's like, if you know anyone else, you can go to them instead. My sister had also been going to a psychologist, so I decided to go to the same one. So I was going to her, and she's really nice. I still go to her. She's helping with a lot of family issues, which helped a lot with my depression. Just less family conflict is just not completely fixed it, but just taken away heaps of pressure on the family, and so everyone's a lot happier. But anyway, then so I haven't gone to those paediatricians since May or something. Not May, sorry, March, or something like that. But then I did start missing. Well, I was going to school kind of frequently, pretty much normally, and then as the year went on, I just started missing so much school, and in term 2, which is the previous term, we're in the holidays between term 2 and 3 at the moment, I just missed, I went to the school the first couple of weeks, and then pretty much missed the whole term, almost the whole term. All my symptoms were just getting so much worse. Just everything was getting so much worse. My depression wasn't as bad, but then I'd have parts where it was as worse as it's ever been, and I just was really not happy at all. I just wished that somehow I could just disappear and I wouldn't have to be alive anymore. I don't feel like that anymore. Obviously, sometimes it does come back, but anyway, that's not relevant. So my mum was like, oh, well, first off, I'm just going to mention, I had to keep having meetings at school so we could keep talking to each other, and obviously in year 12 you have to have a lot of assessments and things like that, and if you don't keep up with those, you can't get your certificate of education. So basically what happened is I didn't get all the work done in time. I was just in bed the whole time. I couldn't do any work at all, and I had to do pretty much 5 months worth of work, not 5 months, 3 months worth of work in a week, and that wasn't going to happen because that week I wasn't able to do anything, yeah, so what am I saying? So basically, we worked out that I am going to continue going to classes this year when I can, obviously, and hopefully everything will be worked out and I can just try and get my VCE next year. VCE is the Certificate of Education in my state, Victoria. Anyway, what am I saying? So yeah, basically I'm repeating year 12 next year. Hopefully that all goes good, goes well, sorry. But yeah, so anyway, basically Mum's like, yeah, you're not going to school, you know, your health's getting worse, we need to try and work this out, like, everything's getting worse, what are you going to do? So we organised to go to a new GP. There's a new practice, a doctor's practice, or whatever you call it, in one of the towns close by, and doctors we haven't seen before and things like that. So we organised to go there, and also my mum did a bit of research on different things, and she came up with she thought that maybe I might have Lyme's disease, because she recognised the rash that's typical of Lyme's disease when you have the initial tick bite. If you don't know what Lyme's disease, basically it's just a bacteria carried by ticks, but it can also, they think it can also be carried by spiders and mosquitoes, but mostly ticks, and it can either be chronic or you'll just have it straight away. And basically I might have chronic Lyme disease, which has pretty much every single symptom that I have. All of my symptoms are symptoms of Lyme's disease, and the only thing is, it's not recognised in Australia, so most doctors will not think that you've got Lyme's disease, because most doctors don't believe it's here, even though some people who have never left the country have Lyme's disease. So it's all controversial and all of that. But anyway, my mum recognised the rash, and she looked through my photos when I was about 2 years old, and I had the bullseye rash that you get when you're bitten by a tick. And at the time, she took me to the doctors then, and they thought it was a spider, and they treated me with antibiotics then. But it was around that time that all my symptoms started, so that's that. But anyway, so I went to a new GP, and she was really good. She, organised all these blood tests, and also another MRI, because I hadn't had one for 4 years, on my brain and my neck, and also she did the simple blood test for Lyme's disease, but there's a couple of different tests you can do, and one you can just do in Australia, which usually doesn't show anything at all, and then there's another one that's called the Western blot, which they don't do in Australia, and you have to get it sent to a different country. So anyway, she was really, really good. So my MRI showed I was all normal again, but I still had the sinus. So I'm currently taking nasal spray for my sinus, and I'm doing inhalation, steam inhalation, to try and clear out my sinus, because sinus problems can cause headaches. So and also I forgot to mention my neck, when I press on this little like C2 and C3 on my neck, I get a big, a really strong isolated headache point. So definitely my necks do have a lot to do with all sorts of things, and they definitely relate to my headaches, but that's probably not the entire thing. So I did go to a new physio this year as well, and all of that. This video is going forever. And then anyway, so when my mum was looking at Lyme disease, she remembered that she'd seen a doctor for it, heard of a doctor a few years ago, and it was a clinic it was like the CFS clinic, chronic fatigue syndrome place, and they specialised in Lyme's disease. So that I started going to that place, and basically she thinks that I do have chronic fatigue. I've had lots of tests done and some are in the process, and I have an intolerance to gluten, milk and eggs, and I'm already a vegetarian, so I'm just basically vegan now because I'm not eating egg and milk, and now I'm gluten free as well. She said I can just be gluten free for 6 months and then see how it goes, so hopefully I can get back on gluten because I love me some bread. But anyway, what am I saying? And then, so I got my, on Monday they sent off some blood to Germany for the Lyme's disease test, so we'll see if I have it or not. I kind of think I don't have it, but I very easily could have it, so yeah, that's basically how everything's going so far. My condition hasn't improved with anything yet, but it's all early days. I'm taking a new vitamin and doing like a detox juice thing, and the gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free thing, just all of this stuff. So I'll let you know how it goes. That's the backstory. I will do updates. So let's see if I have Lyme disease or not. I don't know. You know, if I do, at least they know I have something that you can treat. It's very treatable. You can they can treat it by like antibiotics. You'll have to be on antibiotics for like 2 years or something, or you can do a heat treatment or something like that. I don't really know. We'll get to that when we get, if it goes that way. If not, just try and, you know, maybe I have chronic fatigue again. It's something that doctors here don't like to diagnose people with. Some doctors don't think it exists either. So basically, yeah, I have all the symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome, and more, you know, I have food intolerance. So if you understand chronic fatigue syndrome, if you have food intolerance, that can be part of the cause. So yeah, there's all sorts of things. But yeah, I'm literally falling asleep here, so I keep closing my eyes and it's like, oh yeah. And plus I'm getting like really dizzy, so it's like, anyway, love you guys. Hopefully this was filling you in my life and all of that. And yeah, sorry I'm horrible, sorry the quality's bad. Sorry I'm falling asleep on you guys, but yeah, love you. And stay well and stay safe, and if you have any questions or maybe you have a story you'd like to share, just let me know. Link video if you like, if you want to tell me if you have something similar or something like that. But yeah, love you. Bye.